So, good morning and welcome to the inauguration and the inaugural national seminar of Center for Buddhist Studies, SSUS Kalady. We have our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dharmaraj Adat here to preside over the function, the inaugural function. I welcome our beloved VC to this august gathering. We have Professor P.K. Poker, the Professor of Philosophy from University of Calicut. He is currently with the EMS chair and also with the Bashir chair in Calicut University. And he is going to deliver the keynote address, Erasure and Amnesia, in this inaugural session of the National Seminar. I wholeheartedly welcome Professor P.K. Poker to this seminar. And Dr. K. Sugadan from Calicut, who is to inaugurate the Center for Buddhist Studies. Today he is on his way. He has almost reached Kalady, but unfortunately, because of the traffic block, he's held up in the jam. So he will be here soon in a few minutes. Anyway, I welcome him also to this inaugural session. And by that time, let me also say a few words about the functions and the objectives, the missions of this center. This is imagined as an academic study center where you create critical knowledge and awareness and create academic kind of publication related to the particular field, that is Buddhist studies, which is an arising interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary field that is trying to include the whole of humanities and even empirical sciences. So that is why a medical doctor and a heart surgeon like Dr. K. Sugadan, who has also transgressed into culture and history and linguistics, most of his work recently, his recent work is dealing with the linguistic kind of archaeology and the archive of language itself and the unconscious, to find out about the kind of erasures that Professor Poker would be speaking in his keynote. So we are in a kind of cultural emergency, and the cultural nationalism in India, this has become a kind of totalitarian, homogeneous, monolithic kind of agenda, a hegemonic and violent kind of agenda in India. And in order to resist this kind of totalitarian projects, we need to talk about and think about the alternative ways of living and the alternative ways of culture. So that kind of an alternative, ethical and critical and academic inquiry, that is the mission and the objective of the center. And Kerala, as we know, is having that legacy of rationalism and enlightenment and ethics. The egalitarian legacy of Kerala, of course, it belongs to the Buddhist kind of period, which is the foundation of culture and civilization and democratic ethics in Kerala, at least from the time of Ashoka. Kerala was introduced to the art of letters and ethics. And the Ashokan nuns and the monks, the missionaries of Ashoka, they have propagated education, healthcare, and martial arts and other art or architecture, whatever you take as civilization or culture, it has its foundation in the Ashokan Buddhist times. So at least from the time of Ashoka, Kerala was introduced to this ethical legacy, which is deeply rooted in the soil of Kerala. Even the very place names, the linguistic expressions, the art and architecture, folklore, mythology, everything you can trace back to the origin of civilization in South India. So that legacy of South India, that legacy of the Changam tradition, the Sangha literature and the Sangha culture, everything you can very easily you can relate to the legacy of ethics and compassion that is taught by the Buddha almost 2600 years ago. And in the efforts of Ashoka, it got revived, and it got political patronage, and it was spread throughout South India and the whole of South Asia. So that legacy and the neo-legacy of Buddhism after Ambedkar in particular, its origin in Tamilagam again through Ayodhidasa Pandidar in his Indira Desa Saritram and Dravida Pandian, and Ayodhidasa's Neo-Buddhism being the first one in the soil of India. With inputs from Anagarika Dhammapala and many monks from Ceylon and other parts of the world. So after the advent of modernity, after Western modernity that has reached the shores of Kerala, which was saluted by persons like Narayana Guru himself in 1914, as the British as my gurus, they gave us the right to education or sannyasam, he proclaimed in 1914. And he totally rejected the Ram Rajya, which is the Rajya of Manusmriti, and the Purusha Sukta and the Gita, which prohibits Varna Sangara and which tries to kill the Shambhugas. So Shambhugas are being annihilated on an everyday basis even in Kerala and India at large, we know. So in this kind of a genocidal context, we are rethinking about our culture, our society, our history, our polity, our philosophical and epistemology itself. So that kind of an epistemological break and critique and renewal and a way out, probing for the liberation of the people at the bottom. All these things from Ayodhidasa Pandidar to Sahodaran Ayyappan and Midavadi in Kerala, the students of Narayana Guru, they have led the Neo-Buddhism in Kerala in the 1920s and 30s and 40s. It is in the poetry of Sahodaran that you will find a Buddha Kanda for the first time in Kerala or in the Kerala Malayalam literature. And C.V. Kunjaraman also played a crucial role. Mulur, he has translated the Dhammapada directly from Pali. By learning Pali, he directly translated it. That Pali traditional scholarship was there in the Avarnas of Kerala. So Mulur translated the Dhammapada in the beginning of the 20th century, and plenty of other translations, even new translation. Tomorrow also we have, day after tomorrow you have a new translation being released in Thrissur. So that tradition of Neo-Buddhism, in Kerala, which is a legacy of the Narayana Guru movement also, led by Sahodaran Midavadi and C.V. Kunjaraman. So that legacy is also there in the soil of Kerala. And then the most successful legacy, it came from Baba Saheb Ambedkar, who along with 6 lakh followers in 1956 at Nagpur, he converted to Buddhism, a new Buddhism, a political mode of democratic Buddhism that is redefined by himself. So that is called the Navayana. So from Ayodhidasa to Sahodaran and Mulur and even Ashan wrote that Sri Buddha Charitam. He translated it from a free translation from Edwin Arnold. So Kerala Renaissance is very much founded based on the discourse, the neo-rational and democratic, ethical, compassionate legacy of Buddhism. So whether it is Kerala modernity or the Indian modernity led by Mahatma Phule himself, Phule himself imagined India as a Baliraj and a Bahujan Samaj. Bahujana is the coinage of Buddha. Bahujan Hidaya and Bahujan Sukhaya. That was the motto of the philosophy. My philosophy is not about the gods. It is not about the mystery of gods and demons. It is about the people, about the miseries of the people, the problems of the people, the worldliness, as Edward Said would say. So the worldliness of his philosophy. Bahujan Hidaya and Bahujan Sukhaya. So Phule took that Bahujan motto from Buddha, who spoke almost 2,600 years ago, and his critique of the caste system, his critique of Brahmanism is very vital and contemporary today. So that is the context in which we are venture out into a new academic and critical scholarship to compile these speeches into text and to make it into an edited anthology. That is our mission, epistemological academic mission. So this is not simply regarding the speeches and kind of spectacles, but this is about very textual kind of epistemological kind of attempt to create new knowledge and to propagate, disseminate knowledge to the people at large and to the new coming generation, the generations of researchers and university students who are resisting this totalitarianism in the country today. I welcome again Dr. K. Sugadan, who has traveled all the way from Calicut at this age to inaugurate this center. Welcome, sir, to this inaugural seminar, and we are truly honored to have you here. So I welcome all the dignitaries once again, and all the students and researchers and the media persons and other friends and colleagues and our HOD and all the other teachers and professors of this university, and also friends from outside to this seminar. And now let me request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dharmaraj Adat, to preside over the function and to deliver the presidential address. Thank you.